It's been a fantastic experience from start to end, let alone actually delivering on what we needed to do, which was 3 high-quality videos that were to the point, engaging, and amazingly produced at light speed.
Okay, so let me set this up. Isabella was relaunching the Master of Economics at UNSW Business School. The program hadn't run since COVID, and enrolments were reopening for term 1. But we had a little over 6 weeks to deliver. The brief was going to be 3 videos. 1 hero film positioning the Master of Economics as a rigorous future-facing degree, and 2 explainers, clearly articulating the difference between the Master of Economics and the Master of Applied Economics. And all of it needed to be on brand. All of it needed to reflect the academic standard of the school, and all of it had to be delivered before enrolments would open. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The real challenge wasn't just making 3 videos. The challenge was delivering something that genuinely reflected the excellence of the degree under a compressed timeline without having access to the one thing you'd normally rely on for credibility: alumni. And just to be clear, there was tons of alumni for this degree. That wasn't the issue. The issue was time. There simply wasn't enough time, enough runway to reach out and coordinate schedules, to secure those interviews, to manage approvals, and still hit the deadline. So instead, we had to look at what we could control. We had to look at what we could influence. The faculty. Internationally recognized academics, all excited to see the Master of Economics return, all invested in it succeeding, but also all extremely busy. So the question became, how do you build a 3-video campaign around 7 academics, protecting their time, hit those brand standards, and deliver it all before term 1 without creating chaos? Well, that's where StoryStack stepped in and the creative partnership began.
I think exactly that. Feeling that throughout the process, you had a partner. You had a partner in that would literally listen with, big ears about what you were trying to achieve, what the mission was, how you wanted it done. I think it wasn't one thing. It was the way everything came together, from the listening stage up until delivering the final product. It felt like a partnership, and it was a really productive one.
So yes, the project was a lot to manage. It was a lot for a head of school, and honestly, it would have been a lot for a standard creative agency too. Because university and higher ed projects, they don't fall apart on creativity. They fall apart on coordination. There's too many stakeholders, too many approvals, too many calendars to coordinate. The reason we were able to succeed wasn't luck. It was the process that we use for university productions. Those creative and operations tasks, they need to run together. So that by the end of that process, by the time that we arrive on set, everything had been decided, and 7 busy academics weren't navigating uncertainty, they were stepping into a system that we had already built for them. That's why they could walk in, deliver at a high standard, and walk out an hour later. The chaos that might have been anticipated wasn't there. Instead, the complexity that we encountered, it was handled early. And that is our approach.
The performing part and being in front of a camera was not the problem. I think what people were very pleasantly surprised about was the fact that we worked from a script, and you did not have to think and feel embarrassed about what you might say in the moment, which meant that everything was done efficient. So the value add per minute of shooting and per minute of you taking away from research and from teaching and from your day-to-day jobs in the office, which are $1.5 billion, that felt really good. So being able to deliver the contents in the most efficient way and feel that you were efficient while you were doing it, that was really splendid.
Now, if you're concerned that scripting everything will make it feel stiff or rehearsed, I get it. That's a common concern. Academics don't want to sound corporate, and marketing doesn't want the videos to feel flat. But here's what we did to make it work for us. We didn't just write a script and hope for the best. We built structured scripts designed for clarity, and then on the day, we coached each academic through their delivery on the teleprompter. I mean, they weren't acting lessons, just small adjustments about pacing, emphasis, breath, where to land a line, and how to hold eye contact with the camera. So it didn't feel like they were reading, it felt like they were thinking clearly, just with a sharper structure. And that's how a teleprompter can be an efficiency tool, not just a crutch. It allows us to protect their time. It allows us to protect the message. And really, it's how you get one shoot across 2 days, producing 3 videos with all those social cut downs as well. A full campaign story stack.
I would absolutely recommend StoryStack without any second thought. You're going to have a fantastic experience and you're going to want to shoot more and more and more.
Look, if you're about to launch a program or relaunch something that's been sitting dormant, or you're trying to create high-stakes content without your team losing their minds in the process, just know this kind of complexity is manageable. It doesn't require chaos, it requires coordination. What you've seen here isn't a one-off. It's a system that we use to help universities move from idea to campaign to enrollments without burning out people who are involved. So if you're in that position right now, we'd love to have a conversation. You can read the full Master of Economics case study below, and if it feels aligned, let's have a chat.